So the Lincoln Project is absolutely going after Trump brutally. One of the most brutal ads I've seen they started running, not just on TV, not just on Fox News specifically, but running it in markets where they knew Trump would likely be watching, which is just crazy. So they're speaking directly to him and to his supporters in a brutal ad, and then Trump threatens to sue because of it. So first we'll take a look at the ad, and then there's so much more to talk about in relation to this.
Dear MAGA, we have some bad news. No, not that he lost. Not that your little coup attempt failed and its planners and the attackers are going to jail. No, the really bad news is why Trump told you he lost. Why he set it up way before the 2020 election. It wasn't voter fraud, but it was fraud. Trump told you the election was stolen to rip you off, to sucker you, to take your hard-earned money and shovel it into his pockets. He spent it on himself, not to take back the White House. It was the biggest scam in political history. Every dollar you sent him paid to keep his shaky business empire and lavish lifestyle going. It was a sucker's game all along. And you know who the sucker is? It's you.
That is brutal. So they're touching on something I think is very important that we talk about when talking to MAGA Republicans, because not only do we want to confront them about their ideology, you also have this feeling of, hey, are you not paying attention to the leader you support and the way that he's scamming you? I mean, as I touched on in that video, after the 2020 election, he was raising a bunch of money to quote unquote fight the stolen election. But then, in the, fine print, it specified that the money, unless you donate an insane amount, most donations weren't required to actually go towards any legal cases or go towards this particular cause, and it can pretty much be used for whatever Trump wanted. And so what he's doing there is scamming you as a MAGA Republican. And then we saw heartbreaking stories of people who they in the email, when you're asking people to fundraise, they would make it to where it's hard to notice that a box is checked that is signing you up for reoccurring payments. And so then people who barely had any money got their bank accounts just drained by reoccurring payments from the Trump team. So grabbing onto those things and really trying to shake people out of it, I think is impactful. And clearly what they were trying to do by going after Trump specifically, making sure he saw this ad, running it in areas that they thought he would be watching, worked, because it hit something in him that made him very angry. Trump wrote on Truth Social saying, "The perverts and lowlifes of the Lincoln Project are back on, where else? Fox News. I thought they ran away to the asylum after the last catastrophic campaign with charges made against them that were big time sleaze. And me getting many millions more votes in 2020 than I got in 2016. The Paul Ryan run Fox only has high standards for Trump ads, but not for anyone else. The perverts should not be allowed to false advertise, and Fox News should not allow it to happen. See you all in court." And we're about to get to one of the Lincoln Project guys' just devastating response to Trump. But it is interesting how so often we hear from the right wing, freedom of speech, why are you trying to go after me? Don't go after Alex Jones and that defamation suit for all of the lies he spread and the damage that he did. But then Trump is notorious for how many people he has threatened or actually sued based on things they said, and trying to silence them in that sense. And so while I think, of course, there's a place for defamation, Alex Jones is a great example of that, a great place for having that legal process to sue someone or whatever it is, bring a case against somebody. Trump uses it anytime his feelings are hurt, right? Or at least threatens it. And so the response from Rick Wilson, who is from the Lincoln Project, was just beautiful and quite vicious, as you'll see here.
Hey, folks. Wanted to say hi really quickly and to just give Donald Trump a message. Since you threatened to sue the Lincoln Project this morning, go for it. Go for it, bitch. Come at me. I can't wait. We're delighted by the thought that you would try to sue us, Donald. Do it. Do it. I double dog dare you. You know, when we put up the billboards in Times Square of Jared and Ivanka during the COVID crisis at the end of the 2020 campaign, we received this letter from Mark Kasowitz, Donald Trump's attorney, and it was this complete, blustering shit show. Oh, we will certainly sue you. We read it in the Bain voice, right? You're not going to sue anybody, Donald. You're not going to do shit. You're not going to do a goddamn thing. You are weak. You are impotent. You are flabby. You are sitting there in the bridal suite at Mar-a-Lago or in the bridal suite at Bedminster, grinding your gears, wondering why that the Lincoln Project, no matter how many times you tried to kill us, keeps coming at you. You know why? We're here in this fight for the long haul because you are a threat to democracy. You are a threat to America. You are a threat to the Republic. You are a threat to the Constitution. You are a thief of classified documents. You are a traitor to this country. You've tried to overthrow this government and the system of our...
Okay. Ooh. So, speaking to Trump in a way that does not sit well with the old Donald. Crazy stuff. Again, I've said this before, but I'm not doing a wholesale endorsement of the individuals or the Lincoln Project as an organization. None of that. Honestly, I haven't even spent time or energy looking into them as people, but just looking at the ads they put out, a lot of times really good and effective. And then I did like how his reaction was, and oh no, gosh, are we going to get sued? He's thinking, we told the truth in that ad. And so go ahead, sue us. And then obviously used very, aggressive language with Trump, which I honestly think at his heart, Donald Trump is a deeply sensitive and insecure person. So that type of ad and that type of language being used against him and talking down to him in that sort of way, I really do think irks him, for lack of a better term, more than really anything else. But explosive stuff going on between Trump and the Lincoln Project. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support what I do as well as get access to the full show, all of the stories hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus a weekly bonus show, you can go to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley.